I'm back with another story, but before we get into this story, you guys, let me start off by saying this. This story is one that it's just really messed up. The investigators and the police, they're not really putting out a lot of details in this case. The parents of the person, the victim, they're really going hard for her. And I just really want to put it out there before I start this, like a little disclaimer. All the information that I've gotten from this story, I've gotten off social media, Twitter, news outlets that they did have, maybe one or two. And then I had to go on Facebook and comb through all of the families' posts and pictures and all of that. And not to mention, you guys, I've gotten like a lot of emails about covering this case. So it's very important that I try to tell this story the best way I can. But I want to put it out there that if I tell something that's not correct, or if I say something that's not exactly right or whatever, you guys, don't hesitate to comment below and let me know. I'm human, I make mistakes, so I'm trying my best to cover her story because she deserves justice. So let's get into this story, you guys. So today we're going to be talking about the tragic story of Libby Lewis. Now, Libby was born on October 4th, 2001 to Darcy Baz and Heath Lewis. Now, growing up, Libby always excelled academically, you guys, and she was described as the sunlight of her family. So basically, a lot of her family members on Facebook, like, they were basically saying that growing up, she made everybody laugh. Like, if she walked into the room just brightened up. Literally, she was just an amazing person, you guys. Now, like I said, she went to high school, she excelled academically, and she graduated in 2020 with honors from Hemp Hill High School. Now, that's in Texas. So right after graduating from Hemp Hill High School, she then went to SFA. Now, she went to SFA and she wanted to study nursing. So she was basically in this nursing program. And while in this nursing program, she also was a CNA at a healthcare aid facility. Now, the crazy thing is, you guys, she was trying to go back to school too later on to get her BSc. And so she wasn't just stopping at nursing. It's a lot of things that Libby wanted to accomplish. And she had the goals. She had the mindset. She had everything. Like, you guys, she could go very far in life. Libby, she's on track. She's doing what she's got to do. She's working. She's in college. I mean, she ready. Somewhere along the line, Libby met a guy by the name of Matthew Edgar. Now, the thing with Matthew was, you guys, this was a man who was recently divorced and he had 2 kids. Now, while Libby was 19 years old, Matthew was 24. Now, this is where the story gets kind of confusing because Matthew was married in 2020 when he met Libby. I don't know if him and Libby's relationship crossed while he was married, but when I go on Facebook and I look at his wife's Facebook page, well, his ex-wife's Facebook page, her name is Montana Brackell. Now, when I look at Montana's Facebook page around January, February 2020, her and Matthew were still in love. She was posting pictures of him. He was like all over her Facebook page. But somewhere in 2020, they got a divorce and he started dating Libby. There are not a lot of details when it comes to him and Libby's relationship. Every email that I got, like from people that knew her or people that was in the area, was just saying that the relationship was extremely toxic. Now, I did a little digging and I found Libby's Twitter. On Twitter, Libby would constantly talk about being in this toxic relationship. And on one of her Twitter posts, it was basically her saying like, look, every time you say you're going to get out of this toxic relationship, girl, you end up back in there. And then somebody commented and was like, yeah, Libby, every time I pass by, you're over, I guess, Matthew's house. But they didn't say Matthew, but they was like his house or whatever. So I'm guessing they were talking about Matthew. So nevertheless, the vibe that I got was Matthew and Libby's relationship was kind of toxic, in which if he had just got divorced that year and was dating Libby that year, obviously something was going on in his marriage and caused his divorce. I looked at her Facebook page because, you guys, this is what's telling us her story. Yes, her family is online. They're advocating for her. But if you go to her Facebook page and her Twitter, she's telling her own story. She's literally talking about this relationship. She's not saying names, but she's putting little hints out there to show that this relationship is not healthy and this is not where she needs to be. Around October 4th, 2020, that was Libby's birthday. She celebrated her birthday with friends, you guys, and she seemed in very good spirits. Now, as we go on and on, we're going to fast forward to about October 23rd. Now, on October 23rd, she made a post basically talking about her relationship and the toxicity in the relationship. And then on October 28th, she made another Twitter post talking about being in a toxic relationship. Now, the reason why this is so important, you guys, is because on October 31st, the police responded to what they thought was a 2-car accident, but in reality, it was Libby found dead in her car. The police responded to this. It was like right after 5 a.m. on October 31st. Now, when they got there, they saw Libby and she was sadly deceased. Now, also there was Matthew. Now, Matthew was complaining, saying that he had been stabbed, you guys, so he was rushed to the hospital. Now, at first, police are looking at this like, okay, something crazy happened. They thought it was an accident, but then it was like, no, Libby was shot with a rifle in her neck and she had blunt force trauma to her head. So they knew then that this was something way more sinister that happened to Libby. Now, Matthew is rushed to the hospital, but when he gets to the hospital, he's not stabbed. He lied about being stabbed, you guys. So the police, they then take him into custody and they question him about what happened. Now, later on, Matthew is charged with Libby's murder. But even though they charged Matthew with Libby's murder, her family still does not have answers. Now, Libby's mom is named Darcy Bass. If you search her up on Facebook, she has a ton of information on her page and she has a ton of questions for this entire situation. A lot of people were asking, like, I thought they were broken up. How did he even get to where she was? How did they even link up? Like, everybody just has questions that the police are just not giving answers to. But like I said, Libby's mom, Darcy, she's trying to get these answers, and I want to be a part of trying to help her get these answers. Now, they charged him with murder, you guys, but like I said, we don't know details. After this happens, that's when Libby's mom, she starts putting out things that people didn't know. Like, for one, it's being said that Matthew had threatened Livy and Montana, which is his ex-wife, saying that he would kill them one day. So my thing is, who told her mom this? And why didn't anybody try to protect Libby? Like, why didn't the mom know this until after Libby's death? Why wasn't this said before Libby passed away? Also, a lot of people have suspicions about Montana. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Matthew's ex-wife, Montana, and the mother of his 2 kids. Now, on Facebook, I found Montana's page, and what's weird is she has posted stuff on Facebook since all of this has taken place, but she has not said anything about the murder. She hasn't said anything about Matthew being charged. She hasn't said literally anything about it. Now, when I went back and looked at Montana's page, what struck me as very odd is she was in love with Matthew in the beginning of 2020. Like, when I say madly in love, posting him daily. And then all of a sudden, months down the line, you start to see Libby commenting under her post. So it's almost like Montana knew about Libby. Like, Libby would come in under the boys' pictures saying, oh, they're so cute, you know, things like that. Montana had called Libby a couple times the night that Libby was murdered. They saying that Montana had called her a couple times and Matthew had called her a couple times. So I'm guessing they looked at the phone history on the account online and found that out. And that's really important because it shows that Montana was trying to get in contact with Libby for some reason. Now, after that happens, you guys, the mother also put out information about Montana, basically saying that Montana was trying to be like Libby. Now, after Libby passed away, Montana started posting like these pictures with makeup and lashes and things like that. But before Libby passed away, she really didn't post things like that. It's almost like she was trying to turn herself into Libby. She knew her husband was going there to do something, if she was trying to warn Libby or what, but she knows something. And I agree with Miss Bass on that. She needs to speak up and tell what she knows, because also some kind of way it came out that Montana was tracking Libby's phone that night. So why she was tracking Libby's phone, I don't know. Now, Matthew, let's get back to him. Matthew, in 2014, you guys, he basically went on a high-speed chase with the police and he was drunk driving. Now, he ended up injuring 2 police and his accident was really, really bad. Now, this just shows character. This shows the type of person that he is and the type of things that he do. He's no stranger to the law and he's been in trouble before. So I really don't understand, you know, why he was not punished for that, because from what I'm understanding, Miss Darcy is saying that he really got like a slap on the wrist for that. So they arrested Matthew for the murder of Libby, you guys, just recently. Like, I think it was like a couple of days ago. They gave him a bond. And yes, you heard me correctly. He murdered this 19-year-old beautiful, amazing girl, and they gave him a bond. And y'all, it wasn't like a bond that's hard to reach. They gave him a $50,000 bond in which he only has to pay 10%. So he's out on bond right now for $5,000. That's it. Trial doesn't start till July, and this man is out roaming free, probably talking to Montana, trying to get their story straight if she has anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very odd that they will let somebody out like that who's already injured 2 police officers while drunk driving, and now he's on a murder case, and you give him a $50,000 bond. That's it? That's it? Like, that's crazy to me.
Here. They are here for Libby Lewis. What is the reason why you're here?
We're right here at the courthouse today trying to bring awareness because Matthew Edgar was let on a $50,000 bond. He only had to pay $5,000 to get out of jail for murdering my best friend, Darcy Bass's daughter, Libby Lewis, and we want him back in jail. I mean, there's no explanation for this.
Out of jail tonight just a few months after he's accused of murdering a teenage girl. 24-year-old Matthew Edgar was granted a $50,000 bond. KTRE's Tiffany Tanner talked with the victim's mother, who says she's outraged. The man who's accused of killing her daughter is no longer behind bars.
In Sabine County, family and friends held signs chanting justice for Libby Lewis.
Everybody, they love Libby. Everybody loved Libby. Yes.
And for her to be taken from this world. We needed her in this world. And for what reason was she taken? I just want to know what happened to my daughter. I want the detectives to be able to tell me what happened to my daughter and make sense.
Lewis's mother, Darcy Bass, says they just want justice to be served. 19-year-old Libby Lewis was found dead Halloween morning. The reason for her killing is still not known. Now accused murderer Matthew Hoy Edgar was granted a $50,000 bond and is out of jail. According to Sabine County's DA, the office has expressed dissatisfaction with Edgar's release, but did agree that the judge was simply following the law in recent changes due to COVID-19. In legal terms, state requires
and like I said, I feel the same way. I don't see how he has a bond. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, the fact that he took Libby's life, she was only 19 years. She had just turned 19, you guys. Her birthday was on the 4th. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that he took her life, it really bothers me that he's out right now. And I don't understand the system, and I don't understand why this beautiful girl is not getting justice that she deserves. Like, his trial is in July. He can literally leave the country right now. Like, do you know how easy it is for him to just get away like that? And I mean, I just hope that she really gets justice. My opinions, and this is just solely my opinions, everybody involved is innocent until proven guilty. But my opinion is, I think that Matthew killed Libby because she did not want to be with him. And I think that maybe Libby probably got tired of doing the back and forth. In some kind of way, he lured her and killed her. That's exactly what I think happened. Now, as far as the wife, I honestly think that maybe the wife knew about it. And I think that maybe they got like this little alibi thing going on is the reason why they were tracking phones and trying to figure this out and figure that out. Or maybe the wife was trying to warn Libby. I don't know. But in my heart and soul, I think the wife knows way more. And I think for some reason, I just think the wife played a part in this some kind of way. Because why are your phone calls and Matthew's phone calls right behind each other? And then they're literally like an hour or two before she was killed. So I honestly think the wife knows way more, but I'm very curious as to why she's not being punished at all. I mean, I looked at Matthew's other, like his family, and I see everybody's just living life regular. The mom has a petition and they have been protesting. I'm going to put the petition down in the description because I really want you guys to sign it because they want Matthew back locked up. This man needs to be in jail. And that's just point blank period. There's no way around that. And we need to make sure as a community that we stick together and we help Miss Darcy Bass and everybody that knew Libby, and let's just get her some justice. And to things going on in relationships, man or woman, you could be in a domestic bad relationship and you might not even be aware of it, just down to being controlling, you know what I'm saying, just down to being abused or whatever. You guys, you don't have to put up with that. There are resources. You can email me and tell me, look, Drake, I'm going through something right now. Is there any way you can help me? And I would do anything I can, even if we're not in the same state or city or whatever. I would try to find those resources. I have friends in different states and areas. We will get you help. Like, this case really frustrates me because she was on a path that was so amazing. Like, he was destructive. He was in and out of jail anyway, so whatever with him. But Livy, she had her entire life ahead of her. And the fact that she was so loving and caring, that explains why she wanted to be a nurse. This girl was just amazing. Like, I'm really left speechless when it comes to talking about her, because everything that I've read up on just shows that she had an amazing life ahead of her, and he took that. Like I said before, Matthew is out on bond. He paid about $5,000 to get out. And right now we need help, and we need to spread this case everywhere. Like, when I looked on YouTube, you guys, I didn't see any videos on this case. When I tried to find like news videos to try to insert into basically my YouTube video, I could not really find a lot of things. So maybe this video will help get the word out. And if I'm misinformed or if it's some things that I left out, then hopefully another true crimer can come along and be like, well, look, this is more things that happened with this case, and I just want to add to it. So you guys, just remember, please share this. Please, whatever you got to do. If you want to go to Miss Darcy's page and look up some things and try to do your own research, that is completely fine. Because with the Orrin and Orson West case, you see a lot of YouTubers, true crimers, groups on Facebook, and they are going hard for these boys, and they're trying to find them. So don't feel like because you're not a police officer or investigator or whatever, you can do your own research and you can call in tips and you can do all of that, because his trial is in July. We need all of our fighters to come together to try to get him put away for the rest of his life. Have for Libby's case today, you guys. I'm gonna put the link in the description to her petition that we need to sign to try to get Matthew back locked up until his trial. On Facebook, if you hashtag justice for Libby, or if you go on Facebook and just type in her name, you will see so many people in her community just talking about the situation and how we need justice for her. So I'm gonna do that, you guys, and please stay tuned on my page. I have a lot of more stories to go. Like I told my supporters on TikTok, I've been getting so many emails about stories, and this was a story that I got a lot of emails on. So I'm gonna try to cover a lot of more things that's going on, you guys. And that's all I have for you today. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. If you're not following me on TikTok, follow me at Big Draco. If you're not following me on Instagram, you guys, go follow that Instagram at BIGG_DRACCO. I love y'all. Bye.